Today I'm going to make some chili bean pancakes. This is a family favourite. The original recipe is for 4 to 6 people. For the purposes of this exercise I'm actually making a smaller amount, partly because of shortage of ingredients and partly because at the moment we can't invite people round to share it with us. So I've got my ingredients assembled already. I've got pancake mix, which I've already made up in a jug, ready for cooking. For the filling, we've got some chopped onion, chopped tomato, red kidney beans. Now in the recipe it does say to use dried ones and cook them, but it's perfectly okay to use a tin, which is what we always do, and that's what I've got here. I've got herbs and spices. I like to use my own out of the garden, but it's perfectly good to use dried ones. I've got a bay leaf, some chopped oregano, a chilli and some garlic. For cooking I've got olive oil, salt and pepper for seasoning, and we've got some tomato puree to add to the sauce. I've got some grated cheese, which is for putting on the top once the dish is assembled. So I'm now making the pancakes in readiness for the dish. You need 2 pancakes per person. It's a 20 centimetre size pan, which seems to be just right. So you just pour it in, sizzle away. Put it over a bowl so that they're easier to pick up when you come to do the finished dish. So I've got my onions cooking, very low heat so that they don't get brown. They need to be on for about 10 minutes. These are nearly done. You need to put the oven on. It's 180 or 160 if you have a fan oven like me, otherwise it'll be too hot. So while the onions finish cooking, I've decided to come and chop the chilli and garlic ready for the next stage. Make sure if you're using a fresh chilli to get all the seeds out, because that's the real hottest bit and it's probably too hot for most people. So I chop that. As I said before, I'm using a fresh chilli, but it's perfectly okay to use chilli powder or flakes, whatever you happen to have handy. That's the chilli done. And now some garlic. Again, I'm using fresh, but you could use garlic salt if you wanted, or some of that stuff called easy garlic, I think. Or is it called, it might be called lazy garlic, I think. Comes in a little jar and it smells awful in the fridge, so I don't like it. Right, so that's the chilies and the garlic and the other herbs all ready to go in with the onions. I'm now going to put the chopped chilli, or most of it, and the herbs and the garlic into the onions. Don't do all the chilli at once. It's easy to put too much in and you can't take the heat out once you put it in. The next thing is to add tomatoes to the onions. We need to add tomato puree. And stir it in. That then needs to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes on a very low heat. Just checking the seasoning. It needs a little bit more chilli and some salt and pepper. So I will add a bit more of the chilli season with salt and pepper, and that should be ready for the next stage. I've got a greased oven-proof dish. I'm going to start filling the pancakes. So we need to put a good dollop into each one. Roll it up and place it in the dish. And I will continue to do that until I have used up my pancakes. I've now got all the pancakes into the oven-proof dish. I added a tiny bit more liquid to the sauce because it was a little bit too thick. Other than that, it's ready to go. So we spread it on the pancakes. You don't want it too runny. Spread it over the top. And to complete the dish, we have some grated cheese. I actually tend to use more than it says in the recipe because we're just great cheese lovers. So plenty of cheese, but to your taste. That's it, ready to go in the oven. I'm going to place them in the oven. They need to be in there for approximately half an hour. I think this should be just about done now. I'll take it out of the oven and just check. Yes, nicely brown on top, ready to go. There we are, all ready to eat. I'm serving it with some shredded kale from the garden, but it's up to you what you have with it. Enjoy with a glass of your favourite wine.